You're watching Business 360. Travel portal MakeMyTrip is betting big on artificial intelligence. The company has collaborated with Microsoft's cloud unit Azure. MakeMyTrip will now provide users personalized travel recommendations and voice-assisted booking in different Indian languages. The beta version has been introduced in English and Hindi. To talk more about the company's foray into AI and the travel and tourism landscape, we're now joined by Rajesh Magow, the co-founder and group CEO at MakeMyTrip. Rajesh, always a pleasure. Many thanks for joining us here on CNBC-TV18. You know, generative AI has been the buzzword now since ChatGPT's launch, but we've been looking for used cases specifically relevant to the Indian context, and I want to understand from you what you hope to do with this in collaboration with Microsoft. What is the aspiration?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Shireen. Pleasure as always as well. Yeah, so, you know, we've been actually at it for some time. I'll tell you a little bit of a background to this before I come to the solution that we have just put it out. We've been trying to solve the problem to get, let's say, next 100 million, the tier 3, tier 4 city users who are far more comfortable, as we have found, from our sort of surveys, trying to get consumer insights from those markets. They're far more comfortable transacting, in the native language, in their local regional language, in a more conversational flow, rather than just only sort of going the vernacular way. See, this is our take two, to solve that problem. Our take one has already been there for a while. It's been live, so we've been on our platform. If you go and see, you can actually shift to Hindi language and Tamil language for flight bookings already, and even for the hotel bookings. But they all basically just translating from English to regional language, Hindi and Tamil. But the flow remains the same. So and the difficulty there is that for these users, while one barrier is resolved with that, the other barrier still remains, which means that because the keyboards are pretty complex. Language keyboards are pretty complex. They, and therefore we haven't really seen the same adoption, as we were expecting. So, so now with this new technology, so generative AI, the language models have become very, very rich. And then the second thing that has happened is that the voice and text sort of interaction has also become pretty rich. So leveraging that, we thought it might be a very good use case for us to be able to make it even more simpler and easier to bring in voice command into the flow and then give the result as appropriate, in the form of text, and then get the information again on voice command from in a conversational flow from the customer, and then into QR code and just using that get the customer to pay, and then you're done. So, what we believe now, this take two of ours, is going to make or remove that second barrier, where you're more comfortable probably, speaking a more local language rather than just typing. And with that, life will become very, very simple.
Well, so Rajesh, I want to understand from you, you've obviously been working in close collaboration with Microsoft to put this out. What's been the development period for you to take this live? You are still in the beta version. How many languages do you hope to cover through this assisted voice solution that you are launching today? And eventually, what does it mean at the back end, Rajesh, from a productivity perspective and a people perspective as well?
Yeah, no, very interesting questions, both of them. So let me just take one by one. So in terms of just time taken to work very closely with Microsoft on this, and this is, mind you, this is not the open source AI, that is available to the whole world. This is a Microsoft in their own confined environment. They also have an enterprise product for this, which offers a suite of services. All in sort of one place, and we have done the integration with that, working closely with Microsoft. It hasn't taken actually a whole lot of time because the integration was very, very smooth and easier. It just took us 2 to 3 weeks to sort of get the whole thing going. And to start with, we have just gone out with two different use cases, one for the flight booking and the other one for the trip planning booking for our packages product. Again, in the conversational chat flow, in English and Hindi, and then we plan to cover more regional languages. In fact, there's one that is sort of already in the works is in the Bhojpuri language, believe it or not, and it's quite interesting. And the most interesting part is the accuracy level, in terms of, being able to, the machine being able to catch the colloquial version of the spoken regional language and producing accurate results. So first you have to understand, because see, otherwise the accuracy will not come. That was the problem in the previous language models, but not on this one. So we are getting about 95% accuracy here. And that would be our plan. So our plan will be to roll this out in Hindi and English first. We've just gone with beta launch with 5% of our traffic, ramp it up as we get more insights, fine tune it, and then sort of come up with the other languages. And, replicating it with the other languages more and more won't be that difficult, and won't take that much time. Now, on the back end, coming to the second question, on the back end, on the productivity side of it, it's very interesting. See, we have a channel, actually all women powered channel called Holiday Experts for our packages product, to help consumers to do the trip planning, and right now that is all offline, on call. There's so much of back and forth that happens before a lead gets converted into actually sale. It takes at least about 3-4 interactions. So this tool now is going to solve for at least 2 steps, for them, and convert that, to be able to answer all the basic questions that you might have as part of the trip planning. Because, if you can just imagine, if there is any customer who's thinking of just planning a holiday, he or she doesn't really know where to go. That's really the start point. And then from there, you start for basic questions before you sort of, get all the basic questions answered, get to a stage where it becomes a warm lead, if you will. And then that is the stage when the human intervention can come in. And this whole, our travel experts can sort of take it from there, and then, just eventual conversion done. So I think it's going to help them. From consumer point of view, it's definitely going to help, on the experience side, and on the internal side, at the back end side, it's going to help our travel experts to be able to just do it more efficiently.
Okay. Rajesh, before I let you go, there's a lot that's happening in the aviation space. We've seen Go First, of course, halt operations. The matter is now at the NCLT today. There's a notice that's been issued by the NCLT to SpiceJet as well. SpiceJet also dealing with grounded aircraft at this point in time. Airfares have skyrocketed on the back of these developments. What are you seeing at this point in time? And do you believe that there is room for rates to move even further up?
Well, I know this is the development that's happened, recently, and it's an important development in the market. So the way I see this is that obviously we'll have to wait and watch to see how this process goes. I'm still hopeful and optimistic that there will be some support coming. Let's say Go First way, and then given that they've been out in the sort of public to reassure and make the commitment that they want to sort of run and operate the airline. So if they're able to get some relief, let's see how it goes, because, from there only the journey will start. But in terms of just, fares going up, of course, if there is going to be, sudden supply sort of taken off the market, there is going to be temporary impact on fares. I think it's pretty normal and logical, but I think it's going to be short term. To be honest, because the amount of market share that Go had was small, mid-single digit, and I don't think it'll take much time for the other players in the market to be able to deploy more planes on those sectors and have more capacity and bridge the gap between demand and supply. So, but if this happens to be a travel season quarter. So, temporary, because it might take some time for other partners to sort of deploy more planes. But till the time, there is a possibility that the fares could go up temporarily. But hopefully, we'll settle down soon.
Well, we would have liked to continue this conversation, Rajesh, but I do know that you're in your silent period. We are, of course, awaiting Make My Trip quarterly numbers. So we'll check back in with you once your numbers are out so that we can have a more detailed, specific conversation about the financials as well. Rajesh, always a pleasure. Thanks very much for joining us and congratulations on your new launch. We will take a break here on this edition of Business 360. Thanks very